Man, look, I swear, some of y'all need to be prophets. So today is October 9th. That means today is PJ Rose's birthday. So happy birthday to PJ. Pooh Jr., his full name is the same as Derek's, actually, Derek Martell Rose. But Junior, and so I was thinking when, planning out the reviews for a month, like, what shoe I would do on what day, and so on and so forth. So for today, that's why I'm doing the shoe that I'm doing. And it came just in time, actually, in the mail for me to do it. And on top of that, as you can see at the start, man, some of y'all in the comments really out here just being prophets about everything, because hot damn, how'd y'all know? So, as expected, we got a regular Adidas box. All right. Feels like it's a little bit taller though than the other ones. I don't know. It just feels taller than the other ones. But in here is none other than the D Rose 773 2020. Now, the colorway I chose to get these in was this black with gold speckles print throughout it colorway. And some people may be asking, why did you choose to do this shoe on, PJ's birthday? Well, the reason for it is because earlier this year, I believe, when there's some footage release of PJ going to like a basketball training camp, and that's where I think we actually first saw the Rose 773 2020s, which is pretty cool because he was wearing these at the camp. I think some of the other kids at the camp were wearing them too. So I don't know like the whole story behind that, of course, and all these different things, but I figured what better way to do that than, in a sense, to do his signature shoe for the day with this shoe. So I figured that'd be something kind of cool to do. And I've also just kind of want to talk about what this shoe is comprised of and some of those things with it. But one of the first things a lot of people will be interested to know about is sizing and fit. So I bought these at 9.5. Let's see if they fit. Oh, wow. Okay, so I just got done trying these on, and yes, 9.5 is the correct size and fit for me, which I measure out at like right about a 10. So going with a 9.5 gives me the proper fit and lockdown I think that I'll need to hoop in these. Performance review wise, I have no performance review planned for these yet. And by planned, I mean I haven't played in them. I literally just took them out the box, So I have no real details to say, but what I will say that is very interesting to me is I've tried them on, and when it comes to this mesh upper, it's like an engineered mesh upper for the shoe, and the lacing structure seems to center around my foot pretty well. Back here in the heel, there is a small TPU plate here in the back that also, I guess, goes probably down to this midsole that I can feel in there, but there's also like this form to fit collar piece that's structured here with this little heel tab that really stretches well when I put it on my foot regularly, or even with my speed wrap. I tried it on with that as well too here in between, and so that's pretty nice. The tongue is nicely padded up here at the top, but it gets a little bit thinner as you go down, which is cool, but it also cinches around your foot there, which is nice. And then the mesh it feels pretty nice on the shoe, honestly. And then too, as I was just kind of standing here and seeing how they felt on this hardwood floor, they seem to be gripping pretty well. And I was just laughing to myself because the first thoughts I was having was like, well, it'd be really funny if I think these perform better than any of the other Roses I've had for a while, especially being a team Rose shoe, or a 773. But that is super cool to me nonetheless. Some of the details that I will point out about this shoe in terms of the upper, at least, is you do have these 3 stripes here, which are 3M, so that means they're reflective. You have on the back of the heel tab the D Rose logo, which is awesome. It says Rose 773 right here on the collar, which is cool too. The little heel tab is a nice little accent, and you also have the Adidas logo there on the tongue. On the midsole, we're going to get into the midsole in a second, but on the midsole it also says for game day and any day, which is cool. And then you have a big Adidas logo here too on the heel, and then on the outsole it says designed in Adidas Brooklyn Creative Farm, and then it has the coordinates of that, and it says Adidas, and you guys can see that there as well. The traction, as you can see, is just like a regular herringbone, and I mean herringbone is pretty dang good. as everyone should know. I mean, you can't get much better than that. In terms of like the aesthetic look of the shoe, I dig it. I kind of like the the speckled midsole look with the gold is nice. I originally want to get the black and red colorway of these, but they're a little bit more expensive on Amazon currently than what these were. And I was like, well, I'm trying to get this here quick and fast, and I want to have something that's a little bit different than all these other ones. I don't have to be all black shoes or majority black shoes. So I was like, you know what, I'll get these. And actually, I'm sitting here kind of excited to try playing in these. The midsole, from what I was able to look up and find. Okay, so according to looking up some of the history about the Pro Vision, because I didn't think about doing this while I filmed this, the Pro Vision, the midsole is comprised of bounce. It's what at least Adidas.com it says for those, and I believe even over at Rare Testers, it says that is bounce cushioning is what's used in the Pro Vision. So that's interesting because I didn't realize that when trying them on, but I will say that comfort-wise, it makes sense. But yeah, I'll be curious to see how these actually perform. Insole in here, I have not looked at yet, but I believe it's just one of these regular thin Adidas insoles. So nothing special there. And when I look at the Strobel board in there too, I don't see anything else like special in the midsole to kind of catch my eye. But what I will talk about is the fact that Adidas reusing tech, okay? And so now some people this may upset them, some people it won't. I want to just give you guys my thoughts and my opinion on the reuse of tech. I've never had an issue with tech being reused across multiple shoes as long as it's good tech and it makes sense. And so now for this shoe right here, this midsole is identical and the same midsole as what is used on the Adidas Pro Vision that came out, I believe it was last year. So it's the exact same midsole, which there's nothing wrong with that at all per se, but I know some people may be upset with that. It's something that I point out in the last 773 review I did on the 773-2s, because this thing would be the 773-5, if I'm not mistaken, because overseas they've done other like team signature lines, but they were underneath the 773 name, because we had the 773-1s, the 2s which you just saw, the 3s which I said suck, the 4s which had bounce in it. That's so mean. The 4s that had bounce in it, and then this one. But then there was also the 773 Luxe that had a zipper for the upper, like with a shroud, which is reminiscent to the TS Supernatural creators that I just showed you guys earlier this week too. So this shoe, honestly, reusing tech, that's just something that's kind of part of the course, especially for the 773 line. And I've always said again, if the tech works, it's not an issue. And so I'm really curious to play in these now because my big thing always comes down to traction, and in terms of lockdown support, these feel pretty decent. So, besides a Rose 11 review and a Rose 11 performance review, which will be coming sometime later this month, or hopefully by November, depends on how long I could play in the 11s before I do the performance review, or how much time I can get in playing with them. But this shoe is also going to be on my list of shoes to try playing in because I actually am quite interested. And if it's a great performance shoe, you're going to catch me on Amazon copping like a couple more pairs of these because like the Rose 773-1s, like I've said before, one of my favorite shoes to hoop in because they were just like the 2.5s. And 2.5s is one of my favorite shoes to hoop in as well too. So all those things, being said, a lot of different things to consider when it comes to this shoe. Retail on this shoe was $70. I got mine off of Amazon for, I think it was like 50 something. $50 for a basketball shoe? Look, regardless of how we feel about how the Rose brand's been treated in America, regardless of how we feel about, the decline and as some people will see of the Rose brand stateside or even overseas, something that Derek's line originally was built on was the fact that he wanted kids to be able to afford his shoes. And, a lot of people and I'm not sure how Derek himself felt about it, but a lot of people felt a certain type of way when we got to the Rose 3s. He would jump from a 110 price point to a 160 price point. And then as you know, the main line did eventually drop to 140. There were rumors of the Rose 11s dropping to 120, but by the looks of it, at least from like overseas retailers, that's not confirmed anymore. It looks like it's still going to be 140. I digress. Having an affordable Derrick Rose shoe for fans of his is awesome, and for kids that even maybe don't know too much about Derrick, but want a good basketball shoe. And at the end of the day, that's a big, huge W. That's a huge thing and a huge win to take away from it. So, with that being said, I hope this shoe performs really well because I actually think it has potential to be one of my favorite D Rose shoes just from this try-on. The main thing I'll be curious to find out is how well the midsole holds up in terms of its cushion and its comfort. Outside of that, I mean, who knows? I would laugh if this year ended with me thinking this was better than the Rose 11s performance-wise. But the traction on the Rose 11s and the light strike hopefully got me kind of, hopeful. So I'll be curious to see how it all turns out. But I want to thank you guys for watching this review. Go wish PJ Rose happy birthday on his Instagram or, on all your different social media accounts. You guys check me out on Instagram. Keep following me, and I'll keep on posting more stuff. Keep on watching the D-Rose Sneaker Challenge. We'll keep on posting more things, keep on doing more reviews, and keep on being out here and having your guys' support, which I really appreciate. So I want to thank you guys for watching this. Until next time, guys, peace. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.